Hi everybody, welcome to My Big Tidy Up. My name's DeDe. Thanks for checking out my channel today. Now today, here's what I got on the menu. And let me just give you the heads up. The menu is going to be all over the place, but that's okay because that's what life is like this time of the year. It's a little bit all over the place and a little bit hectic, but basically today's video is Spend the Day with Me, Christmas edition. Now I've got a lot I want to accomplish. I've got some errands to run, including going to the store. I've got some work to do in the kitchen. I'll be whipping up some spicy Fiesta pretzels, some Dilly Ranch soup crackers, and some slime. And yes, I did say slime. I've got some tidying up to do, and I also have a new cleaning tool that I need to try out. I bought it some time ago, and you guys asked me, what'd you think of it? Well, I haven't used it yet, but today I've got the perfect place to use it, so I'm gonna give it a try and let you know what I think. So without any further ado, let's get this day in the life Christmas edition started, and let's get tidy. Oh, and let's have some coffee too. Okay, friends, and away we go. It is a coffee kind of day. Actually, every day is a coffee kind of day for me, but today is probably a 2-cup of coffee kind of day. Now, I do have some places here on the Cocoa coffee bar that I need to refill, but I'll do that later because I have to go to the store first. Now, I've got the coffee, but I need more marshmallows. And we have made a shift in our home because the little fellas have now acquired a taste for the colored marshmallows instead of the white ones. So I need to get some of those. And yes, they actually do taste different. And speaking of things tasting different, I found a new coffee I like. It's this honey almond from Walmart. Now, I don't know if they sell it in large containers. They probably don't. But it really is good. It has just a slight taste of honey and almond, but it's not overpowering at all. I've been drinking it like every day, and I'm probably going to burn myself out on it because I have been known to do that with things. I find something I love, and then I have to have it every day, and then I burn myself out. I've done that with songs too, like have a favorite song that I play over and over, and I think there will never be a song better than this, and before you know it, I never want to hear that song again. I have so many errands to do, it makes me feel like I'm running behind when I know I'm really not. And I promise I won't drag you around everything. The bank is done. I need to pick up a prescription. I need to return some library books, drop off some things for a friend. I need to go get gas, go to Walmart, yada, yada, yada. I probably should wash my car, but that will not be a priority today.
Christmases of old, when all was right and the candlelight would glow, where we used to play in a wintry wonderland, and we'd hear carol songs.
I wanted to pick up some kind of gingerbread house to do with the little fellas next week, but I really didn't want anything real complicated, and I thought this little gingerbread train set would be perfect because they could each have their own little section of the train to do, and it would be easy for them to take it home. That is, if they don't eat it first. I know I don't have enough ranch powder for everything I'm making today, and I usually pick it up at Costco or Sam's, so I had no idea that the big ranch powder was $8.58 at Walmart. I've never tried the Walmart brand, but for $5 difference, oh, I'm trying it today.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop. When the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost Somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from
Mission accomplished. And I really didn't buy that much, but they were all pretty much things I needed to accomplish my list for today. And I'm just not a fan of running into the store for a few things. I would rather go with a full shopping list and shop for a couple of weeks. And even though it does take longer, it's just one time. I'd rather do one time than to have to go in and out several times a week, but that's just me. And the thing is, in January, we won't go at all. Several years ago, my husband and I started this thing where we just don't buy groceries in the month of January. And after all of the holiday goodies, it's the perfect time not to shop. We do make sure that we're all stocked up, but we go through the freezer, we use things that we've had for a while, and we really love it. It's kind of become a fun challenge. The only exception is we will probably buy fresh fruit once a week for our grandsons, but other than that, we won't be buying any groceries the month of January.
end. And somehow we knew that we'd find something true, and that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on, it's gonna be you and me.
Errands and shopping done, coffee and cocoa bar, restocked and refilled. Now off to the kitchen. Now I tried to get everything ready because I knew it would take me a while to make everything I was wanting to make. So I planned what order I was going to do everything in because some things would need to sit out for a while, some things would need to be baked. I'd be using a lot of cookie sheets, so I'd need to stagger the way I did things. But I did run the dishwasher the night before, so I wanted to unload it, and I always want to start cooking or baking or doing anything in the kitchen with a clean work area and an empty dishwasher.
It's gonna be.
First up, spicy Fiesta pretzels. And yes, I will be making a lot of them, probably a double, quadruple batch by the time I'm done. And I've been making these for years. I got the recipe a long time ago from a friend of mine. Now, I knew I had the ingredients to make these. The problem was I just didn't think I had enough of the ingredients, which I wouldn't have, which is why I had to go to the store first. Now, I will leave the recipe in the description, and I just love these things. Super simple to make, always a crowd pleaser. And yes, don't judge me. It's my 1977 home ec pizza fondue recipe. I made this recipe book, has a lot of my mom's recipes in it, but yes, I've got the recipe for fondue. Have I made it since 1977? Probably not, but one day I just might. Now these pretzels don't have to be baked, but they do have to be spread out on a cookie sheet, so all that yummy goodness soaks in, which is one reason why I always keep a lot of cookie sheets.
Who keeps track of every girl and boy?
Now I just love when you can make a meal or a snack in one pot or one bowl, and with these pretzels, you can do that. You're just going to add your 4 seasonings into your bowl, the cayenne pepper, the lemon pepper, the garlic salt, and the ranch packet. Then add in your vegetable oil, mix it all up. Then you're just going to toss in your mini twist pretzels, stir them all up to coat the pretzels. Take your pretzels, spread them out on some cookie sheets, let them set for 30 minutes to soak up all the goodness. Then you bag them up. Voila, they're done. Now, I do have 2 tips if you do want to try these. I have tried the pretzel sticks, but I didn't think they worked quite as well. Maybe because the twists have the little crevices that the seasoning can get into. I mean, they were still good, but I do think the mini twists are better. And also, it's easy just to take the bag and dump the pretzels in, but there's so much salt in the bottom of the pretzel bags. One time I did that and I made a big batch, and to me they tasted a little salty. So I take the pretzels out and I don't add that extra salt in the bottom of the bag. Well, I am done with the pretzels for today, except for bagging them up. Now, I did go ahead and make another batch off camera, but I've used all the pretzels I have. Now, I don't know if this is going to be enough to get me through the holiday season because I do bag these up in little Christmas cellophane bags and give them as gifts, but this is it for today. Now, what I think I'm going to do now is go ahead, finish up cleaning up a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the slime while these dry. Then I will come back to do the Dilly Ranch crackers because they do have to be baked in the oven. Not for very long, but I'm out of cookie sheets. This is it, and the one I have in the oven that I keep lined with foil for drips. So I'm going to clean up round one, make some slime, bag up the pretzels, and then get ready for the Dilly Ranch crackers. Well, it's slime time, and here's the recipe that I'm using. Now, I've only made slime one other time, just the other day, and I used it with regular glue, and it turned out good. There was nothing to it. I just put in the glue, the baking soda, the water, mixed it up, then threw in the contact solution at the end to activate it, and I worked it with my hands, and it came out perfect. Well, just as perfect as slime can be, I guess. Now, today I'm using glitter glue. And let me spell it in case you have littles listening. I'm using glitter glue because we have an ELF that comes for visits on the days that the little fellas are here. And the ELF will be bringing the glitter slime the next time he appears. Well, I've got the cookie sheets ready to go for round two, the Dilly Ranch crackers. Now, I didn't wash these, honestly. I just wiped them down with a wet paper towel. I got all of the pretzels bagged up, and they are sitting on the dining room table. I brought out all of the oyster crackers from the pantry. I've got my seasonings ready, and some of the seasonings are the same that I use for the spicy Fiesta pretzels. Now, I am going to do 4 times this recipe. It's just easier than measuring 1/4 of a teaspoon for everything, and I'm going to be making a lot of these anyway. Now, the recipe does call for 10-ounce bags of oyster crackers, and of course, these come in just 9-ounce bags, so I will adjust them just a little bit. It's kind of like the packages of hot dogs and hot dog buns. It doesn't always match up. So I'm just going to adjust it and do a little guesstimating because I'm not going to get my scale out and measure ounces of oyster crackers. Now, because I did 4 times the recipe, that would be 4 ranch packets or 12 tablespoons of ranch. So I just poured some in a bowl and measured it out from the bowl. Instead of trying to get my measuring spoon down in the big container, it was so much quicker. And this recipe is basically like the pretzels. You're going to put your seasonings in, you're going to mix it with oil, you're going to toss your crackers, but these, they do have to be baked a while. Now, I will add this recipe to the description as well, but it's like the pretzels, not a lot of ingredients. There's dill weed, lemon pepper, garlic powder, ranch powder, oil, and oyster crackers, and that's it. Well, the crackers are going. I have 4 trays left, and I've got 3 trays in, and I've got 26 seconds until I need to stir them. And the thing is, they're not really going to get that brown because you're just baking them at 250 degrees for 15 minutes, and then you stir them halfway through. And truthfully, I don't even really stir mine. I just kind of shake the trays a little bit. Now, I could go ahead and put the other trays in the bottom oven, but then I'd have to unload everything. So it's probably going to take me 2 more rounds to get all the crackers done, which is fine because I'll clean up as I go as the cookie sheets come out and I'm done with them. Okay, story time, and I'm going to tell on myself. I had the last batch in the oven. I had 2 batches cooling on the stove, and I'm over here washing all the cookie sheets, trying to stay ahead, and I flip this cookie sheet over, and look what I find. A magnetic crayon, and we were playing with these and some little letters and numbers on the back of cookie sheets, and evidently this one got left behind. And thank goodness that the oven was only at 250 and it didn't melt and it was still able to come off and it didn't catch fire. And let me tell you, we had been missing that orange 16 crayon for so long. That thing was probably on the back of that cookie sheet for 2 months. Well, I've got the kitchen done other than the trash, and the cookie sheets are all washed, but I'm just drying them in the dishwasher. And I really wasn't planning on wiping out this cabinet, but since it's almost empty because all the cookie sheets are out of it, I might as well do it today too. Well, after all of that mess, here is what I have to show for it. This, and some slime too. I really am glad to have these done though. And the thing is, folks enjoy these so much that truthfully, it really isn't that big of a chore. But now that being said, I still have no intention of going back into my kitchen today. Now I do need to vacuum over here by the Cocoa Coffee Bar, and I'll probably hit the den too because of a glitter issue. But I've always thought of this coffee cocoa bar as a gray area. I really wouldn't say this place is part of my kitchen. I've always thought of it as its own area. What do you think, Tidy Uppers? Does this seem like it's part of my kitchen or no?
I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. I'm walking around making small talk with people that pass me by. I share a laugh, it gives me joy that everyone's having a good time.
Now, I had a lot of things that I wanted to get done today, but one thing that was on the top of my list that I wanted to make sure I got done because you guys had been asking me about it had to do with this mop. And it really wasn't about the mop itself, but about a tool that you can attach to the mop. It's this scrubber brush. Now, I bought it because I heard some folks comment about it, and for the most part, all of the reviews have been good. You just take your mop head off, it's supposed to fit on the bottom, and people have been using it for their showers and tubs. And I thought that would be great for me to use and that I would try it in the basement. And another thing I thought I would try it on were the tile floors. Maybe it would be great to get in the grout. You know, the cloth mop head is so soft and sometimes it seems like it just skims over the tile. But with the bristles, I thought, ooh, it's a little firmer. Maybe it'll get in the grooves. So I do want to try it. Now, I do know there are 2 different kinds of spin mops. One has a single tank, and there's another one with dual tanks. And one person that I follow said that she didn't feel like the brush fit well on the mop. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a problem or if maybe she didn't get the correct brush for her type of spin mop, because like I said, there are two different kinds of the O-Cedar spin mops, and when I ordered the brush, there were two different ones you could choose from, and they mentioned make sure you order the one for your type of spin mop. So I don't know, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I'm sure going to give it a try today. Okay, so far so good. The brush head snapped right in, it's snug, it fits, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Well, I've headed down to the basement, and this is a tub and shower that I'm going to be working on. Now, I know it is a little shadowy down here, and it's not super dirty, but what I want to see is if I can get a good friction on this fiberglass, and I'm just going to spray some Jaws foam cleaner on it, and I'm really not going to let it soak that long. I just want to see how easy it is to maneuver and how well it's scrubbing, and I'm not going to do the whole thing. That way I can kind of compare one area that I've done to the other areas that I haven't.
As they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh.
Okay, after a thorough scrubbing, I can definitely tell a difference from one side to the other. On the left, where I didn't use the brush, I can still feel a little bit of a soap scum buildup, but on the right where I used the brush, it is super squeaky smooth and clean. I was able to get in the corners, and it moved real smooth on the curves. Oh my gosh, it sounds like I'm talking about a car, but seriously, it really did work great, and I feel like I was able to get a good clean on the tub and the surround, and I didn't even have to step in the tub to do it. Now, as far as using it on my tile, it did do a good job, but I wasn't as impressed with it on my flooring as I was in the shower and tub. And for me, I am almost 5'8", so I have to have the handle extended almost to the end, and it felt like for me to bear down and really get the scrubbing power from the bristles, it felt like I was almost hyperextending the handle. And if you look at the middle of the handle, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. I was afraid I was actually going to break it. I just didn't feel like I got a good scrubbing leverage on it, if that makes any sense. But if I were several inches shorter and I didn't have to extend the handle so much, I'm sure it would feel sturdier. I did make sure that I moved it forward and backward and side to side. It moved great, and just like in the shower, it did get the corners real well. But to me, I definitely will be using it more on my showers and tubs, and I probably won't use it on my floor very often unless I have something really stuck on there. But that is my honest review, and no, this wasn't sponsored by O-Cedar. And if any of you that are watching have this particular scrubbing brush and want to share your experience, please leave it in the comments, because I would love to know your thoughts too. Now, if you're interested, you want to check it out, it will be linked in the description in my Amazon storefront. Well, Tidy Uppers, that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for spending part of your day watching me go through part of mine. I truly appreciate it. I know it's a busy time of year. Thanks for finding time for me. I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope this video gave you a little entertainment, a little motivation, inspiration. Maybe I just kept you company and you could hear the sound of my voice as you were going through doing your own chores in your own home. Either way, I sure do appreciate it. Thanks for always finding time for me and supporting me. Well, I guess that's all for today. So you know what you need to do. Please take care of yourself. And until I see you in the next one, stay tidy.